This is my September update for the Beauty A to Z Project Pan. It is a Pantastic Ladies collab and it was created by Jessica and Amanda. I will have a link to Jessica's channel in the description box below. I'm using my single shadows this year. I have a single shadow for every letter of the alphabet. 26 single shadows. They are randomly chosen. I use them 5 times. I roll them out, roll another one in. If you like project panning or just talking about eyeshadow in general, then stick around. Hi, I'm Andi. Welcome or welcome back. I'm really happy that you're here. All right, you guys. This was our August color story. August color story, you can see so many warm fall shades. How did I do with them? I'm going to tell you. Because I had a really good month. I had an amazing month for my single shadows. Also, as usual, I'm only going to show you the shadows that I actually had use on this past month. So for the letter B, we have the Sydney Grace shade Bonfire. Bonfire was brought in February. I had no prior use up until August. You guys, I used it all 5 times. It was a dream. I love it. I will swatch it for you. So this is rolling out. It is just a very cool toned brown. One of the reasons why it has been in here so long is that I also had 2 other taupey browns since January. And so I just worked through each of them separately, but I loved using this shade and I'll show you in a little bit why I loved using it so much and what I used it with in order to get my 5 shades so dang quickly. Rolled in last month for the letter C, we have Cassiopeia. This is also a Sydney Grace shade, and this is one of the shades that I used with the Bonfire. And it is a very, very light taupey shade. And it's beautiful. It is a shimmer. It is so pretty. And I enjoyed this so very much. I did use it mostly as an inner corner with a couple shades, but I also used it in the front of the lid, as you will see in the video montage coming up later. Also rolled in last month was for the letter D. This is Dreamsicle. This is a Makeup Geek shadow. I had 2 uses on this past month, so it will be staying in until I get my 5 uses. For the letter E, also a Sydney Grace shadow. This is the shade Eastern Rise. Used it with the Bonfire, used it with the Cassiopeia. It was very pretty. I did not swatch the Dreamsicle. You guys, why didn't anybody tell me? Okay, Dreamsicle. It is just an orange shade. So they're out of order, but that is what that looks like. And as I said, I got 2 uses on that this past month. The Eastern Rise, let's go back. The Eastern Rise, beautiful shade. Used it all 5 times. It came in also last month. The amount of cool, neutral, grungy, taupey looks that I did this past month. Yeah, I think I did those looks more than anything else. And I loved every freaking minute of it. For the letter H, from ColourPop. This is from the Lush Life palette. This is the shade Hideaway. And if you remember, we have 3 shades in here from the Lush Life palette. But it is a very, very pretty. I'm going to try not to say that so much. It's very pretty. It's very pretty. It's very pretty. Well, it is, but come on. But it is a more of a coppery shadow. That was brought in also last month, also got all 5 uses in August. I know, I was on fire, you guys. I was on fire. I used mostly single shadows in the month of August. We had good roll-ins last month. We really did. Also for last month, I have the shade Lavender Taupe, and this is from Give Me Glow. And this is one of my favorite shades from Give Me Glow. Yep, you guessed it, taupey shimmer. Yes, I used it with the Bonfire, the Cassiopeia, the Eastern Rise. That is what it looks like. Gorgeous. Yes, got all 5 uses. this past month because it created such a beautiful look. I'm a huge fan. That look will be recreated during the fall because grungy, taupey goodness. Fall, winter, even, maybe. Brought in last month again. This is from Copacetic. This is called Maple Old Fashioned, and it is beautiful. It is a very, ooh, I want a little ham on that, you guys. It is a very fiery orange. That is what it looks like. And the shine on it is so beautiful. I used it all 5 times last month. I did. I am so happy with my progress last month, which means there's going to be so many roll-ins, and I'm here for it. I'm here for it. Finally, one that wasn't brought in last month. In the month of August, we brought in Nocturne. This is a ColourPop shadow, and this is in the, this was in the Through My Eyes palette. It is a red shimmer, and it is gorge. And I used that with the Dreamsicle and with the Maple Old Fashioned, along with another shade. We're used with a lot of the warm shades, but I'll tell you about that in a moment. And I only had to use it one more time to complete my 5 uses. I did that. It's rolling out. Last month, another ColourPop shade was rolled in. This is the shade Online, and this is from the Lavish palette. It is almost like a periwinkle. It's maybe a little bit more lavender than periwinkle, but it is very periwinkle-like. Trying to go on this side of my arm because otherwise it ends up going this way. I only used this once this past month, so I still have 4 more uses before I can roll it out. But I know that I'm going to enjoy using it because you guys, I love purples. You know I love my purples. Brought in July from ColourPop. This is the shade Rebloom, and it is from the Orchid You Not palette. A really nice, thought I was going to say pretty. It is very pretty. It is a light mauvey, almost like between a mauve and a lavender shimmer, and it is gorge. I only had to use this 2 more times to get my 5 uses. I did that. It is rolling out, another rollout. Now this shade was brought in last month also. It is from Sydney Grace. It is called Start Somewhere. This is a very new shade in my collection. I got it during the Christmas in July, and you guys, I love this shade so much. I only used it 3 times during the month of August because, I mean, I had all these other ones to use. So that is what it looks like. It's very similar to the Rebloom. Where was the Rebloom? Did I swatch the Rebloom for you? Did I just swatch this on top the Rebloom? I don't know, but it's very pretty. I think I did. I think I just swatched this on top of the Rebloom. There we go. They look very, very pretty together, which is how I was also able to get my Rebloom rolled out. But as I said, I used it 3 times during the month of August. I have 2 more uses to go before it can roll out. Brought in last month. This is the shade Tucana. This is for the letter T. The shade Tucana, this is a Devinah shadow. Oh my gosh. Chef's kiss. Absolutely beautiful. Let's see. I have used this also 3 times since it was brought in that last month. It is a very flippy number, and it is beautiful. It is like a pinky gold reflect. Loved it. It looked really good with the Start Somewhere. I used this both with a warm brown look and also with a dark mauve wine shade look, kind of similar to the one I have on today. And it looked great with both of them. Loved it. Brought in last month from Sydney Grace. For the letter X, we have the shade Firefox. And this is also a very new shade to me. This was, I bought this when I bought the Start Somewhere. This was actually, take that back, this was in a mystery bag that I had gotten during the Christmas in July sale. It was rolled in last month. I used it 5 times. It is beautiful. Very, very beautiful. It is a brown. There we go. It is a light brown gold shade, and it worked really well with the Dreamsicle, with the Maple Old Fashioned, with the Nocturne, and also I just used it on the lid in a palette that I have in my deck of panning, which is a warm brown palette. So very versatile. I used it with a lot of different things. It is beautiful. Used it 5 times. Of course, it's rolling out. If I have neutral shades in here, it's pretty safe bet that they're going to be rolled out with the 5 uses. For the letter Y, this was brought in January. This was brought in March. It is the shade Yours Forever from Sydney Grace. It is also a red shimmer. I did not like having 2 red shimmers in here at once, but I only had to use the Nocturne one more time. So this freed up space to use this one, Yours Forever. And again, I used it with the Maple Old Fashioned and with the Dreamsicle and with the Firefox. And it created such a beautiful fall, kind of like a sunset look. It was beautiful. It was beautiful. You guys, I missed 2 because I don't know how the alphabet works. How did I forget these? These 2 are the most exciting of all of these other shades. For the letter U, I had the ColourPop shade Urchin. This has been in since January. I needed 3 more uses to get my 5 uses to roll this puppy out, and I got them. I did, and it is a pretty shade. It's just not a shade that I gravitate toward, which is why it took so dang long to get it rolled out. It's a very bright teal blue. This is from the High Tide palette from ColourPop. And at one time, I had 3 shades from the High Tide palette that were randomly chosen. I think it's so funny how that happens. And the last shade, because I forgot too, is the shade Verdure. And this is for the letter V. Also brought in January. This one I only needed 1 more use to get my 5 uses. I did a green look, you guys. I did a green look. Got it rolled out. I'm so excited that a green is getting rolled out and that I can roll something else in. It is copacetic. I don't think I said that. It is copacetic, and it's a very pretty shade, but it's been in here far too long. Far, far, far too long. And those 2 complete all the ones that were rolled in originally in January. I don't have any more left. So yay. Yay for that. So you guys, we have 12 rollouts. 12 shades rolling out. I'm going to put all of those in a separate little palette over here and then come back, get my screen record going. We're going to choose 12 new shades. You guys, we are looking a little sparse. I took this opportunity, since there were almost half of them gone, I took this opportunity to take them out, wipe this down, because it had gotten a little messy. So look at this sad, sad palette. Guys, let's pick some shades. Okay, I have my screen record up. We are starting with the letter B, and we have 22 that start with the letter B. So let's see what we get. Shade number 7, which is the shade Belle of the Ball. I'm not really sure what that looks like, but I think it is a ColourPop. For the letter C, we have 23 shades that start with the letter C. Shade number 17. That is the shade Countess. That might be a Sydney Grace. I can't remember. For the letter E, we have 8 shades that start with the letter E. That one is dwindling down. That is shade number 1, Eagle's Flight. That is definitely a Sydney Grace shade, and I believe it is a brown. It might even be a brown shimmer. For the letter H, we have 9 shades that start with H. Shade number 5. Dang it, I just hit the button. I just hit the screen and it moved it. Shade number 5 is called High Grade. No idea. Think it might be a ColourPop though. Okay. What else did we roll out, you guys? What else did we roll out? We had, so for L, we have 6 shades that start with L. Let me go 1 through 6. And we have shade 6. That is called Luna Storm. That is a newer Devinah shade, and it is amazing. It is amazing. I can't wait to show you what that looks like. For the letter M, we have 17 that start with the letter M. You guys, I'm trying not to spend a whole lot of time on this part because it does get a little lengthy. Shade number 12 for the letter M, and that shade is called Moss. And I'm pretty sure that that is Sydney Grace, and it is a moss green. For the letter N, we have, damn it, again. For the letter N, we have 8. 8 that start with N. And yes, my screen is going dim, so when I touch the screen so that it doesn't turn off my screen record, it chooses another shade. So we're just doing that. So shade number 1, and that is called Neon Kiss. I have no idea what that is. No idea at all. Okay, what is our next one? The next one is 4R. And for R's, we have 16 R's. So let's see what we get for that. That is shade number 6. And shade number 6 is called Rich Chocolate. Again, I think that that is a Sydney Grace shade. I'm pretty sure it is, but I'm pretty sure it is a matte. Oh no, Rich Chocolate is Give Me Glow, and it is a shimmer. You guys, evidently I don't know what I'm talking about because I just touched the screen again. So we had R, we have U and V. So for the letter U, we have 9 shades that start with the letter U or have U in the name somewhere. Like there's one called Call You Mine or Love That For You. And so I included those in with the U's. Okay, let's see. Number 7. Unicorn Moon Pie. That is a Clarity Glaminatrix. That is a Clarity shadow. I only have a couple Clarity. I have 11 that start with the letter V. Yes, I touched the screen again. The next time I do this, I will make sure that my screen stays on longer. I forgot to change that again. Shade number 3, Midnight Nova. That is also a Devinah shadow, and it is beautiful. And I think the only shades we have left, oh, we have X and Y. So for the letter X, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, we have 5. And none of them start with X, they just have X in them. Shade number 1, it is the shade Fairfax, and I'm pretty sure that that is ColourPop. You know, that's kind of disappointing because I have a few indie shadows that have X in them, and I kind of wanted it to choose one of those. And then finally for Y, we have 12 that start with the letter Y. They have Y's in them. They don't start with Y. They have Y's in them because, again, I had to get really creative so that that category didn't deplete so quickly. 12 shadows, and number 12 Wait a minute. I think, nope, that was last year. I was like, I know, it's called Your Best, and it is a Sydney Grace. You know what? I'm going to re-roll. I'm going to re-roll, and I'll tell you why in just a minute. Crystal Dusk. That is also a Devinah shade. So we're going to go with that one. A lot of Devinahs in here this time. Yay. I'm pretty sure Crystal Dusk is a Devinah shade. All right, you guys, I have to go hunt all of those down. We will come back. We will discuss. I will swatch them for you. You guys don't go anywhere. That took so long. That took so very long. Okay, let's go through them and then I'll show you our color story for September. For the letter B is the Sydney Grace shade Belle of the Ball. I can't tell you how many of these browns I have. I've already decluttered several of the same shade. So I like browns. I like browns, but I had so many that were similar that I don't need all of them. So that is really great for this time of year. I am a warm or cool neutral girl, so I have no doubt that that is going to be used. For the letter C, we have the shade Countess, also Sydney Grace. This is my type of shade. It's a mauvey, taupey, moody shade, and it is gorge. And that is what that looks like. I have no doubt that this will work really well with the Start Somewhere that I still need to get 2 uses on that's in here. Yeah, that's going to be really pretty. I will love that. I will absolutely love that. For the letter E, we have the shade Eagle's Flight. It was a brown. I was right, but I thought it was a brown matte. It is not. It's a brown shimmer, and it's a very, very pretty brown shimmer. This was also in the mystery bag that I got from Sydney Grace. You see the shine on that? Gorge. Absolutely beautiful. And then for the letter H is the shade High Grade. And that is a ColourPop shade, and it is from All Amethyst. I'm like, what does that stand for? It says All Am. It says All Am. I thought it said All That. No, it's All Amethyst. And it is also a very mauvey, pretty shade. So we'll swatch that right there. You can see how pretty that is. That will also go great with the Start Somewhere and that Countess shade. I love when there's multiple shades in here that all work. That way I can just use my singles and not have to worry about palettes, and I can get some use on what I have in this project. Next, from Devinah, we have the shade Luna Storm. This is for the letter L. As you can see, it is a flippy little number. And this is a beautiful pink to gold to icy, like, it's just beautiful. And that means it's versatile and I can wear it with different mattes. For the letter M, the shade Moss. I was right, it is a Sydney Grace shade. It's just a moss green, you guys. But I do have some shades in here that, okay, it's there. I couldn't see it. I do have some shades in here that I can wear that with. There is this shade right here, this green, this pom, and maybe not that one, but these two would look really great with that shade. For the letter N from ColourPop, we have the shade Neon Kiss. It is definitely neon, you guys. This is from the In the Springs palette, which when the palette was intact, I had gotten it in a ColourPop mystery box. But You guys, it's a bit bright. It's a bit bright orange. I don't know how well I'm going to like that. It actually doesn't swatch as bright, but it is definitely an orange. I do still have oranges in here. I have browns in here. I have shades that I can definitely use with that to get my uses. For the letter R, the shade Rich Chocolate from Give Me Glow was brought in. And this is one of my favorite Give Me Glow. I know I said that about the lavender taupe. I just love Give Me Glow, you guys. But it is a really pretty brown. Now, did I almost redraw once I saw it? Because even though this is a darker brown than this, and this might be a little bit cooler as well. I'll just hold them up together. So Rich Chocolate, Eagle's Nest. Yeah, that is definitely a little bit cooler brown, and it is definitely darker. So that'll be all right. I didn't want to redraw. And it's a brown. I use browns all the time, as I said. So it's not like I'm not going to get any use on it at all. Oh, I need to, did I swatch it? Yeah, I did. I did. Of course I did. Okay. For the letter U was the shade Unicorn Moon Pie. It looks white. It is not, you guys. It is so freaking pretty. See that? Oh, it's so pretty. It's not really flipping as much as it does if you use it like in an inner corner, but it does have a pink and a lavender and a little bit of a blue reflect. I keep trying to think of Mountain Lion. Mountain Lion is the one I was thinking of. That's the ColourPop Super Shock that reminds me of this when I wear it. Yes. For the letter V, you guys, I had to redraw. The shade Midnight Nova was drawn for, which is from Devinah, which was drawn for the letter V. Midnight Nova is in another project. I didn't get it. I didn't grasp that until I was looking for it. I was like, ah, it is in my BYOP. It's right here. Even though I got my uses on it, I'm not going to double dip. It's still in a project. So I redrew, and I'm glad I did. Because guess what? Climbing Vine from Cleona was brought in. We are now in September, and this is the first time a Cleona shadow has been rolled into this project. And I'm excited. I'm so excited. So this is what it looks like. It's so pretty. Now it is a blue, and as you saw, I do have a lot of blues in my deck of painting. You guys, I drew the Joker. I drew the Joker. I made a BYOP of blue shadows because I don't use blue shadows often at all. But that is beautiful. And I can definitely use those with purples. I can use that with purples, and maybe I'll get my use a little bit better. Next up, for the letter X, we have the shade Fairfax. And this is a ColourPop shadow from the On Melrose? The Melrose palette from ColourPop. Off Melrose? On Melrose? You guys, I can't remember what it is. It's been so long. But that is what it looks like. And I think that this is going to go well with browns. It's going to go well with, because it's kind of a taupey number. It has a little bit of a flippy flip to it, like a blue flippy flip to it. But I think it will also work with the Start Somewhere. And it's just going to be beautiful. I can't wait. I can't wait to use it. I had totally forgotten about that shade. I had to look it up. So last but not least, for the letter Y, with X's and Y's, V's, those type of things, I do have to get a little creative. And if there's a Y in the shade name, it's going in the Y category. So for the letter Y, we have Crystal Dusk, and this is a Devinah shadow. This is not what I thought it looked like. And I don't believe I've ever worn this shadow before. I have swatched it, but I've never worn it. And it is so beautiful. It is yellow, gold, orange, even like a peachy. So these are the shades that I'm bringing in. I don't know, man. I think they're going to work well together. Let's look at it as a color story. So this is our September color story. And it is definitely a lot different than last month. We do still have some warm browns in there, and we have some shades that will go with the warm browns. We have, oh, you know what? I think this moss might actually work well with the Gifts Galore from Give Me Glow. We have some mauves. We have some, I don't know, we still have some blues in there. Maybe I can get this purple and use that with this and get that rolled out. You guys, I don't know. What do you think? Tell me what you would do with this color story. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. I really appreciate you being here. And until our next adventure, everyone have a great day, and we'll see you later.